Hello there, I am Fernanda Paiva, Hitchhiking Stars, and bringing you lunations and insights all from a constructive perspective, and a constructive astrology perspective. That's how I like calling it. So today we're talking about the new moon, and this is the very, very last new moon of 2024. So there's something special about that. And there's something special about having a new moon so close to the new year as well. And really being able to take a ride with that energy of planting seeds, new beginnings, envisioning, etc. Right with, the last couple of days of the year as well. So I love that. Now, this new moon will be happening on the 30th of December 2024, so the penultimate day of this year, and it will be happening on the 30th. I'm not sure, I think for some places in the world this might be the 31st of December as well, so depending where you are, but it is still for all of us at the very, very end of this year, which I think is quite special. So this new moon happens at 9 degrees Capricorn. So we've got sun and moon meeting each other at 9 degrees Capricorn. Obviously it's Capricorn season, so there is that energy. And it's a Saturn ruled new moon. I think it's a very grounded one. And it's a perfect new moon for setting intentions for the new year, for really setting achievable goals that we know we can achieve, being a little bit more grounded, having our foot on the ground, but considering our ambitions as well, our higher ambitions, and in particular the ambitions that are aligned with our spiritual values as well are very much under the spotlight in this new moon for us to set intentions. And I'm saying this because obviously the new moon is in Capricorn, which has that grounded flavor, is an earth sign and is very much known for its desire to achieve and for the great persistency and ambition as well. But this new moon is also forming an aspect to Saturn. So this new moon is forming a wide but still within orb sextile with Saturn. So there is a flowing aspect that the new moon is forming with Saturn, its planet ruler. So Saturn is at 14 degrees Pisces. And that's why I'm saying aligning ambitions with our highest spiritual values as well, and the mastering how to create structures and be practical with these beliefs as well. How can we implement them in our lives? How can we bring them to fruition and allow them to give us fruits as well? I think once we create material structures and we master those structures, which are, very Capricorn indeed, and Saturn as well, that are aligned with these highest ideals, that would be the Piscean influence. I think that we can truly find our tribe and find the people that will vibe with us, that would really want to be part of our world, right? And in particular with our professional life as well, like finding our ideal clients, the people that would really feel aligned with what we have to offer, has something to do with our beliefs as well, what we believe in and what we want to offer the world, the kind of higher service that we want to do, right? Virgo, the opposite sign of Pisces, is about service. Now Pisces is about higher service, is about really channeling from the source. So we have this very, very cool mixture between Saturn in Pisces and the new moon in Capricorn as well. Now, obviously, I want to talk about the Sabian symbol a little bit as well. And there are other couple of configurations in the chart of the new moon that I want to discuss with you, tell you about, and so you can make the most. Remember, we're talking about constructive astrology here. It's really about using these symbols and these energies creatively, so you can build, you can manifest the life that you deserve and that you want to live, right? It's all about empowerment. So Sabian symbol. So the Sabian symbol for the 9th degree of Capricorn is an albatross feeding from the hand of a sailor. I'm going to repeat again. An albatross feeding from the hand of a sailor. That imagery for me was very thought-provoking and mysterious as well. So I wanted to have a look about the symbolism behind albatross and what this bird represents, and the different myths and stories connected to the albatross. So I found some very cool food for thought here for us, and I want to share with you. So first, one of the things I found is that the albatross represents good luck to sailors. So they were usually associated with omens of good fortune for sailors. So to have a sailor feeding an albatross from their hand is like luck's coming and eating off your hand. It feels like this new moon could be a very lucky one based on that imagery and on that symbol, right? Now, the other side, because I like to do things grounded, I don't want to over-idealize anything. So the other find was albatrosses can be connected with a burden, with the idea of a burden. So I killed an albatross and now is a burden on me. Or, having an albatross around my neck as a saying. And that can be connected to psychologically speaking as well. The burden, the psychological burden, that's usually associated with guilt and shame. So these can be the enemies here, or the challenges that we can find with this degree, and that can be associated by that Pluto-Mars opposition as well. So I think Mars and Pluto, which is the other configuration I really want to talk about with you, is very strongly in orb at the time of this new moon. So we could be dealing with the guilt and the shame as well. That side of the albatross with this new moon. So when we're setting intentions connected to our ambitions, do we feel guilty or do we feel shame that we want to do something or that we want to accomplish something? Or anything around that area of your life, really. If you find where 9 degrees Capricorn is in your chart, you're going to get, more clues about the area of life that you can achieve that you can set these new intentions as well. So that's definitely there as well. Now, the other meaning that I found is that albatrosses are connected to the spirit world. So they're often considered spiritual creatures. So they're often considered spiritual creatures and flying because they're flying through fog. Now, I love that because fog is considered Neptunian. So fog has a relationship to Neptune, to astrological Neptune. And so there's something about that fog as a spiritual, as being able to navigate that fog of Neptune, right? And having a connection to our higher beliefs. Now, this is also important to keep in mind, because remember when I was talking about one of the main aspects of this new moon is a sextile between the new moon, the sun and the moon in Capricorn, and Saturn in Pisces. So we are talking about setting goals and intentions that are grounded, are earthy, practical, but that still take into consideration our spiritual beliefs and our spiritual concerns and values. and the higher service as well. So that's something really interesting there with the albatross as well, because they're considered spiritual creatures. So that's what I had to say about the Sabian symbol. But I find that this is a good omen because the albatross is feeding from the hand of a sailor. So we're nurturing that albatross. We're nurturing it, we're feeding it, we're allowing it to grow, we're allowing it to expand. Now, the warning here with the other configurations in the chart is, are you going to be feeding the albatross that's associated with good luck and with the spiritual realm? Or are we going to be feeding the albatross that's connected to the burden and the albatross around our necks and the guilt and the shame that's connected to the psychological symbolism of this? So that's an important question here for this new moon that we need to be aware as we set these intentions. So, as I've mentioned before, we have that Mars retrograding Leo. So Mars at this point is at 2 degrees Leo, and Pluto is at 1 degree Aquarius. So they're applying to this opposition. They're still coming to perfect this opposition. And that's a very strong configuration for power struggles, power battles. And, the challenge of this configuration could bring forward the burden, the albatross as a burden. So it's really important to keep aware and to keep track of what's going on within us, to check in with ourselves around this time, especially because they're holidays as well, and we tend to see families and to get triggered, and so it's really, really important to keep track of how we're feeling, not getting involved in unnecessary conflict, and being aware of our inner conflicts as well around the time of this new moon. And then what we also have is Mercury at 18 degrees Sagittarius, coming to trine Chiron at 19 degrees Aries. And they're both direct now. So healing our thoughts, healing our ideas, healing our communication and our beliefs as well, because Mercury is in Sagittarius, and how we talk about our beliefs as well, how we communicate our individual beliefs. So there's a little bit of a light at the end of the tunnel there for this intensity of Pluto and Mars in opposition. So don't forget about the albatross, and the idea that the albatross can bring good luck, can be connected with the spiritual realm and the higher ideals, and to not get lost in wearing the albatross around our necks and not really give in to shame, to guilt, to the darker side of it, and to find creative outlets to anger, frustration, the need to reformulate our self-assertion that this Mars Pluto is representing. All right, so that's it. That's what I wanted to share with you. I hope you have a wonderful new moon in Capricorn, that you can align your goals and the creation of grounded structures that will enable you to express your highest spiritual values as well in the world. So I'm wishing you all as well a wonderful new year, a wonderful holiday season as well. And I will be speaking to you all in 2025. So I'll see you all on the other side. Take care. Bye-bye.